Hi guys, so back again with another reseller video. Today we're going to be talking about selling on multiple platforms, as well as why I have multiple Poshmark accounts. In my last video I did explain that I had two Poshmark accounts, as well as I sell on 3 other platforms. So we're just gonna get right into the 2 Poshmark accounts first. So the reason why I have 2 Poshmarks is because, as probably you could probably tell, I sell the Nike and the thrifted. I started having them together at first, because I obviously had the thrifted Poshmark first. That was my main Poshmark. And then when I started to get into Nike, I just threw that all in there. And I started to notice after some months or so that the Nike items were doing a lot better than the thrifted items. And it was almost like I was doing fine before, so it was almost like the Nike stuff was overshadowing everything else that I had in my closet. And I just noticed the difference in sales was not like how I would have liked it to be. So I decided to contact Poshmark and ask them if I could open a separate closet to differentiate the two. And I'm glad I did that. If you see me looking down, that's just because I got some notes here so I don't forget anything. So basically, I guess I could give you like the pros and cons of having 2 Poshmark closets. I know there are people out there who like to do 2 Poshmark closets, like if they sell men's versus women's, or if they want just all shoes versus all clothes. I feel like when it comes to that, it's like not really any point in doing that, especially now with the Posh markets. I feel like you really don't have to, it's not really that necessary to have 2 closets. But I feel like if you're doing something like thrifted items and boutique or new with tag stuff, then that would warrant having a second closet. I think it would just make more sense having a second closet for those type of reasons. So the pros is you get to better brand your closet. Sorry, it's a fly or something. You get to better brand your closet. So with my Nike closet, which started as the original closet that I had, I basically just have it all Nike. Now, as of now, I do have some thrifted stuff, because as of a month or so ago, I was just like, I just want to put them back all into one again. And then after thinking about it again, I was like, no, I just want to keep them separate. So I think this is the second time that I've kind of went back and forth, and then you'll see in the pros and cons of why I've gone back and forth. So I just started to transfer back some of my thrifted stuff from off the Nike account back to the thrifted account again, probably like a week ago. So what con I would say is it's double the work, and it sucks. Now, I personally have a VA, a virtual assistant, so thankfully I don't have to share my closet at all personally. When I first started, before I got a VA, I did have to share both closets separately multiple times a day, and that was just a lot. And at the time I had maybe like 400 items on the thrifted one, and maybe like 100 and something on the Nike one. So it was just a lot to do both multiple times a day. That's when I was like, yeah, I need a Poshmark virtual assistant. I initially just had her do one closet, and I was doing another closet. And then I was just like, I don't want to do none of them no more. So she does both of them for me, and she's awesome. So that's a big con. Also, as far as double the work, which I do personally have to do, is the listing. So I would like to try and get like 5 to 6 listings up a day on Poshmark, and that means I would have to get 10 to 12 a day, because I would have to do half on the Nike Poshmark and then half on the thrifted Poshmark, just to get just to keep the momentum going in my sales. And that was a lot to do, or is a lot to do, I would say, when it comes to running 2 closets. You have to keep that balance. You have to make sure you can't just do one or the other. I even thought about doing that, like, okay, on Monday I'll just focus on the Nike Posh. On Tuesday I'll just do the thrifted Posh, and vice versa. So that is just like in itself. Honestly, I don't probably at all share other people's closets, because it's just, personally, I feel like it's not a good use of my time. I've never had any increase in sales when I've done that. I've never saw any real benefit from it. Occasionally, if I'm bored, I'm not doing nothing, and somebody likes a whole bunch of my stuff or shares a whole bunch of my stuff, I'll go in and share some of their stuff back. But it's very rare, very far and few between. Same thing when it comes to following closets and doing all that other extra stuff that you think you have to do with Posh. I just focus on making sure my closet is shared and my listings are good, and that's it pretty much. Another pro, I would say, is more sales. Now, my sales have changed a lot during the coronavirus, so that is a little iffy, weird now, but before that, I had a good sales going on the Nike Posh and had good sales going on the thrifted Posh, or consistent. It's a little bit different now, but hopefully once everything goes back to normal, or whatever the new normal will be, I'll be able to have that same consistency on both Poshmarks. As far as another con is the constant logging in and out of each Poshmark. I know a lot of people, when I read on my Facebook groups, that's one of their things that they are wondering, like, is that annoying? Like, you really want to do that? Da-da-da. And I'm like, that's what you got to do. Ain't no other choice. Unless you got 2 phones or something. I don't know. But I actually don't find it to be that much of a nuisance, to be honest with you. Because I use the same password for both. And that is one of my, pro tips when it comes to running 2 closets. Obviously, you have to have different email addresses, but just use the same password. And I'm not sure if anybody knows this, but you don't have to put at Yahoo or at Gmail or something like that, because that's how mine are. I have it at Yahoo and I have it at Gmail, but you just have to put in just the username. Technically, you don't have to add that extra, so that also saves time as well. Another benefit of that is that, or another thing you could do, I guess, to make it easier, is make sure you have the apps to whatever email that you use. So have the Yahoo app, have your Gmail app, I don't really know any other ones, but whatever the email you use, have that app on your phone, and have it set to where it's able to send you notifications. Because if I have offer or something on one of the accounts and I'm not logged on, it'll come in through the email and I'll see that notification, and I can go onto that account and address that situation. I'm not sure. I don't notice that it does it with comments, but with offers and with sales, it always notifies me. So because I said that, that's another con I would say, is that you do have to just randomly go in and switch accounts just to make sure you didn't get any comments, you didn't get any, whatever the case may be, that you want to be notified about. What I like to do is when I go in, now I love this that they started doing the tabs now. That was everything when Poshmark made that update. So I'll just go in and go under comments tabs, and if I see a new comment, I'll reply. If I don't, move on. Go in under offers tab. If I see a new offer, address it. If it ain't nothing there, move on. And then the last thing I'll do is the orders tag, because sometimes people will just buy stuff outright. We all love that. Sometimes people will just buy stuff outright that you won't notice, and that's happened to me before. I just didn't notice it until I went to my Souls to pack up shipment. I'm like, oh, that's nice. But I'll go to orders sometime as well, to check that, to see if somebody just outright bought something, or if tracking has started, or whatever. So those are just the ways to make it easier when it comes to that kind. So that's like the pro tip to that particular kind. Another pro I would say is if you want to use one for bills and one for like your fun money, you can do that as well, and it's separate. So that's kind of like how I do it. I have my Nike Poshmark, because that's my better one, I guess you could say, or that's the one I make the most sales in. Jeez. I use that one for bills or stuff that needs to go to the house, and then the other one is just kind of like miscellaneous, you could say. It's like for gifts, for, I want to say fun, but he pays for everything. Gifts, or like loaning money to friends and family, or just being a blessing to other people, like that type of thing. Or if I want to buy something on Poshmark, which is not that often, although this is from Poshmark and I love it. I'll use that account to do. And I'll also like use separate bank accounts to deposit the money when I receive my funds. Yeah. So another con is, I covered that one in the last one. So like I said, what makes it easy is definitely having a assistant, a virtual assistant. It's just awesome. I probably will never stop using one. If she ever stopped doing what she do, I don't know if I'd be doing Poshmark anymore. Because there'll be times like I'm really good with her. I'm like, if it's a holiday, she'll still be doing that. I'm like, you don't got to do this on a holiday. It's fine. If it's whatever, like random like holidays and stuff, I'm like, no need. I'll do it myself. And when I have to do it that one day, I hate it. I like hate it. So get a VA. The person that I use is on Fiverr. I can put her link in the description. She's awesome. Now, I will preface this. She does use a bot. Now, her bot is developed by her. So, I'm not sure how she do it, but it's not like it's going to sell. It's not going to share like 100 items all at once, and Poshmark can, ding you for using a bot. Hers is where like I can actually see it. Like if I refresh my page, it'll say that this item was shared 3 seconds ago. This item was shared after that 5 seconds ago. So it's a very good window in time of however she has developed her thing that she does. And it's awesome. She says she's never had a problem with anything like a person's getting their account suspended. Only one time it was like somebody got a warning, was because that person was sharing their closet at the same time as she was sharing their closet. So you don't want to do that. And I don't want to share it anyway, so you'll never catch me doing that. But yeah, that's the only time that happens. And I'm guessing because she has the bot, it allows her price to be like, we can all afford it. If you're starting off, you can afford it. So she's really that good. I mean, I don't know how it is for everybody else, but I know my closet, when I calculated basically how many shares I have a month through the Posh Stats, divided by the month, she basically shares the closet like 10 times a day. So it gets a lot of exposure. It gets a lot it's just awesome. I don't know how else more to say. I know she is running a special for first time comers. You buy one get 1 week free kind of thing. I think she's still doing that. But even if she isn't, she's definitely like 100,000,000,000,000,000,000% worth it. And I don't know if anybody gonna see this, but if you ever do, get her. So basically, what I recommend opening a second closet only if, like I said, if you are really trying to differentiate like quality, I would say. Like if you have just boutique beautiful items, new with tags type of things, and then you just have, mind you, I do vintage as well. I love vintage. I forgot to add that. But if you have like a vintage closet that you want to separate from like the new with tags, new up to date type of things, sure. But if you're just trying to just separate men's from women's, or kids from women's, or shoes from clothes, that type of thing, it's just not worth it. It's not worth the extra time. It's not worth the extra effort. Just maybe separate your closet, like organize your closet in a way that kind of shows a separation in each item. But as far as having two closets, like I said, I've almost merged the closets again twice, and it's just not worth it if you don't really want to distinctively brand the two separate closets to be like totally different. So that's my advice on that. As far as, okay, I did say I was going to talk about the multiple platforms I sell on and why I sell on different platforms, but I think the video is probably getting a little long now, and I might as well just put that in another separate video. So we're going to put that in a separate video. This one is just going to be about why I have two closets on Poshmark, and then we'll talk again about Mercari, Depop, and eBay. Alright, thank you so much again for watching. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully I helped you make a decision on if you were thinking of opening another closet. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.